안녕하세요. Thank you all so much for all your comments, all your lovely wishes from watching my videos. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. Like, I'm overwhelmed with love. Like, thank you all so much. It means all your prayers. Thank you so much. So in this video, I'm going to, answer all your questions, all the frequently occurring questions I saw in the comment sections. I couldn't even read all the comments. Oh God, I really appreciate. Kamsahamnida, thank you so much. So, my name is Neka or Esther Nana. I'm from Ebonyi State, and I officially moved to Lagos last year ending. I've been learning Korean for the past 4 years. I started learning Korean in around October 2017. That was the first, because I always write dates on the, like, whenever I start learning anything. So the first date I recorded for starting my Korean lessons, like starting from Hangul, Korean alphabet, was October 17th, 2017. Yeah, so I've been learning on and off since then. Like, okay, how did I learn? I learned online. I taught myself online, with different websites, textbooks, YouTube. Like, I was just, Googling anything I could find on, how to learn Korean. Like, how do I learn Korean? How do I learn beginner Korean? How do I learn household vocabulary? How do I learn restaurant vocabulary? How do, stuff like that. That was how I learned. What inspired me, what motivated me to start learning. So I started watching Korean dramas in like 100 level, 200 level. Yeah, so I started watching Korean dramas then. The first Korean drama I watched was Fashion King, and the second one was City Hunter. So from watching City Hunter, I fell in love with Imino. So later now, I was now, I joined fangirl, fan clubs of Imino fan clubs on Twitter and all that. So I now found that Imino does not speak English, like he doesn't know how to speak English in real life. So I had to, like, I was now, if I meet Imino now, how will I speak? How will I be able to communicate with him? I was like, okay, so if I meet him, I was like, in my head, how fangirls usually are now. So in my head, I was like, okay, so I'm meeting Imino now. I'll have to say hello. Hi, how are you? My name is this. I'm a huge fan of yours. I started watching Korean drama seriously because of you, can I take a picture, stuff like that. So I googled these things, like Sergeant Jacob Duteyo, like, how can I take a picture? That's what it means. So that is how I started googling these things, and then started learning short phrases from there. Then if I googled and go to school the next day, I tell my friends, I pap mokja, let's go and eat, something like that. It was fun. So the next time, if I want to say something like I thank you, I love you, stuff like that, I'll just google it. How do you say this in Korean? How do you say that in Korean? So okay, what inspired me to start actually learning Korean was that on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website, I think I was searching for working holiday visa, like working holiday visa options for Nigerians. I wanted to find out if Korea had working holiday relations with Nigeria, because I met a girl on Twitter. I think she was an Imino fan. So I met her on Twitter, and she told me she's from Chile and she was working in Korea on a working visa. But anyway, she sent me the website. Like, I was very surprised, she sent me the website because I was about to graduate then, so I was looking for options. She sent me the Ministry of Foreign Affairs website, and I checked it out. And then down, I saw the Korean alphabet, and they taught the Korean alphabet there, and mentioned, like, formed 안녕하세요 and 감사합니다, like hello and thank you. So I wrote it down, and then I went and downloaded apps on, Learn Korean, Love Lingua Korean, if you go to Play Store or App Store, there's no kind of Learn Korean. You just type Learn Korean or Korean learning app. There's no kind of Korean apps you will not see there. So I downloaded all sorts of apps, like, until my phone was full. So I was just checking them out, any one that I could find. Like, I will check it out. If this one doesn't work for me, I'll just delete it. Maybe if it says pay, I'll just delete it, because that time. But anyway, so that was how I started learning. I made sure that every day I would study at least one thing. So when I was opportune enough to find a website that offered their textbook for free, I downloaded their text, like their what is it called, their level 1 textbook, for free. I downloaded it, and I made sure that I studied one page of that textbook, like, every day. If it's very early in the morning after praying, if it's in the middle of the night if I wake up, if it's in the evening before I sleep, I just made sure that I studied. But I still did not study consistently. Like, I studied on and off. Sometimes I did not know anybody that was studying Korean, so I like I'll study today, tomorrow I will not study, something like that. Like after some time. But I made sure I finished that level 1 Korean textbook. Then it was not hard for me to go on because there were no study materials and I couldn't buy. So I just continued, with YouTube. So until so I also saw apps where you can meet foreigners, who speak your target language, and and want to learn your own language. So I speak English. So I was, relating with people who wanted to learn English but could speak Korean. So that was how I met some of my friends. That also encouraged me to keep going. So they would practice whatever I learned with me, or teach me new things, and I would teach them English, stuff like that. So that was how I learned. Okay, good. Okay, so last year, the Korean embassy in Nigeria, the Korean Cultural Center in Nigeria, they held a Korean speaking contest whereby you can send in your video, like your video essay on, reasons why you love Korean culture. So I kind of wrote the essay, tried my best and translated. Then my friend helped me brush it up and I submitted the essay. So I won the competition and it really, really motivated me to keep learning. Like I was wild in the intermediate section. I came first position and I was like, what? That means I know this thing, no? Yeah, so that is how I now got motivated and started, one of my friends in Korea, she sent me textbook and then I started learning seriously. So and here we are. Here we are. So if you have any questions, any other questions you want me to answer, please ask me. And okay, know that I teach Korean now. I teach Korean to beginners, I also teach people how to learn foreign language. So if you want to learn any foreign language of your choice, I have a guidebook on it, on the different apps, different methods, how to stay consistent, how to find a good teacher if you want, where to find free learning materials, all those things. So hit me up to get the book. 그럼 안녕히 계세요. Thank you. Bye.